Alright, if you really want to become one of our top editors, I'm going to show you a more advanced technique that we just love. Um, we call it doing brush strokes. Um, the proper term might be dodge and burn, but essentially, like, it especially revolves with rooms with windows like this. So you do your basic edits, select the white balance, same thing, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, contrast. And then what we like to do, what I really love, is I drop the exposure until the view is really good. Like you can see that view really well. And then you adjust everything for that view. But now you see the interiors are dark. So what I like doing is you can either use the brush, or you can also use a radial filter if you like. It doesn't matter. But you just brighten up the interior, like the features of the interior, like that table. You don't need to go the whole thing. You just need just a slight accent. You need, you need to make sure the brush is at, the feathered completely, and a real soft brush. But you can really make these really beautiful photos by accentuating the window view and then just putting little accents of light on the table or the features of that photo. And if you do that, you'll notice that your photos will come out a lot better and you'll get hired a lot more, because the way we work is, the faster and the better the quality, the more properties you're going to get. But see, that's a really pleasing photo, because what's selling that room is that view, but they also want to show, the features of the inside, the furniture, and the accents and the finishes and things like that. All right. Actually, I'm going to do a couple more. Let me see if I can find another one. All right, it even works for something like this. Okay, so we'll do white balance, slightly cold. Okay, drop the highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, contrast. It's a little too contrasty. Okay. Okay, but you can do it the same thing, like drop all the way. So now you get the window view. So now I've got to brighten up the interiors, and so I'm going to add the brush. And you don't want to go too crazy, but I'm definitely going to hit the bed. You got to be really, this is more advanced editing, so you got to really be good at this. And then I'm going to highlight like that sign on the wall, and right here. You're just adding little accents of light, and it's amazing how much more of a pleasing photo you'll get. Like the psychology of it, the eye goes to the brightest thing in the photo. So you don't want the windows to be blown out, but also you don't want to expose for the windows and everything be dark. So this is, if you can do this, I mean, you can really make some good photos. You can almost, like, you can fix anything, but you just see how that's just a much more soft, easy on the eye photo, and your eye goes right to the bed and you're not focused on the windows. Do one more? That's not a good one. It really works for any photo. Like, you just expose for the highlights. Here's another one. Okay, so white balance, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks. Drop the exposure. Okay, see, you really get that good view. And now with this one's pretty easy. You're just going to brighten up this bottom part. And you got to make sure your settings on the brush, like, that's too cold, so you got to warm up the brush. And you got a little contrast, but see how that just, your eye goes to the table, but you still see that view.